Stuffed with dark historical fantasy action RPGs with fast Souls-like combat, it's tough to stand out. Whilst numerous games are breaking beyond comparisons with From Software's best, Nioh, Lies of P, and Black Myth Wukong for instance, there's still much for games of this ilk to do if they're to draw in players. The first Berserker Khazan, first revealed in 2023, looks straight from the off to be one of those games which distinguishes itself from the Souls-like mold. This feature highlights 15 such things that we can't wait to do in the first Berserker Khazan. Witness the brutal combat. Labeled by developer Neepal as a hardcore action RPG based on the Dungeon Fighter Online universe, the first Berserker Khazan is bloody and brutal. Fast-paced, stylish hack and slash is the aesthetic the team behind DNF Duel have gone for here, and whilst yes, the first Berserker seems like yet another Souls-like, studying gameplay footage both via official trailers and the currently available Steam demo, there's evidence the studio's inspiration draws more from Team Ninja's Nioh. Wield each weapon type. Weapons in the first Berserker Khazan come in a wide variety of types, with each offering unique attack patterns, attributes, and special abilities, thus requiring players to adopt wide-ranging skills to use effectively. Weapons sit within three categories: spears, dual wield, in which two distinct weapons combine into a unified whole, and greatswords, offering thrusting, twirling versatility, aggressive, rapid-fire melee, and overwhelmingly strong sweeping attacks respectively. Weapon categories scale their stats differently too. Spears excel with proficiency, dual wield with willpower, and greatswords with strength. Upgrade weapons. Each weapon category in the first Berserker Khazan has its own dedicated skill tree, with each avenue for upgrading offering a mix of active skills and passive buffs. Weapon specialization then is clearly a core feature, with the team at Neepal strongly pushing the opportunities for players to customize their arsenal and abilities to suit their preferred combat style via 5 sub-trees within each skill tree. Paths to pursue cover, combo proficiency, survivability, or damage, amongst others. Master Combo System. Whilst dual-wield weapons aim squarely at unleashing breakneck combos, all weapon types in the first Berserker Khazan harbor numerous combos inside 3 tiers, which will need to be understood and practiced during battle to become effective. The first tier covers basic combos, self-explanatory opportunities to effect damage via straightforward combinations. Strategizing when and how to unleash combos comes into play via medium combos, with more damaging attacks requiring players' balance against stamina expenditure. In the third tier are the game's most advanced combos, offering high-risk, high-yield maneuvers, which deal extreme damage at the cost of significant stamina. Acquire spirit skills. Spirit skills grant Khazan access to more powerful skills at the expense of spirit, a resource collectible via effective blow landing, parry deflecting fighting. Each weapon tree plus non-weapon specific common skill tree, think dodges, parry abilities, health generation, that sort of thing, harbors 6 spirit skill slots, which can then be assigned to a specific button command to execute during battle. With over 60 skills available, the variety with which you can equip and respec Khazan is inexhaustive. Customize armor. Khazan's protective gear will be another important consideration as you play through the first Berserker, with different pieces of armor and their chosen upgrade paths not only giving boost to defense, but also providing resistance to a breadth of status effects. Several categories including helmets, gauntlets, gloves, pants, boots, and body coverings can be mixed and matched depending on preference and playstyle. There are even numerous armor sets discoverable, from the minimalist Fallen Star set to the more heavy-duty Hero set. Create builds. What do you get if you combine stats, weapons, armor, and abilities together? Well, builds, of course. And as should be well established by now, creating and equipping your own builds is all about crafting your ideal character, based on personal preference and desired playstyle. Furthermore, numerous builds are possible which can be matched to the specific activity, be it exploration or during battle. Take on the bosses. Of course, this being a game influenced by Nioh and the games of From Software's oeuvre, players can expect to see and test their mettle against a host of ruthless, relentless bosses during the last Berserker's campaign. And again, being similar in presentation to FromSoft, bosses will demand players learn attack patterns if they're going to best the game's most powerful foe. Blade Phantom, the boss we've had the most extensive look at thus far, unleashes rapid 6-hit combos, conjures formidable weaponry mid-bout, and unexpectedly transitions to grabs mid-attack, requiring players react to audible clues in addition to timing their blocks and parries with precision. Experience the revenge story. Set 800 years before the events of Dungeon Fighter Online, the first Berserker Khazan promises a gripping tale of revenge. After being falsely accused of treason, being banished to isolated mountain ranges, and narrowly escaping death, Khazan begins a quest of vengeance against those who have wronged him. Alongside uncovering the conspiracies which led to his wrongful accusations, Khazan also discovers the dark truth behind the empire he once called home. Explore the world. The Last Berserker features a range of diverse environments, each littered with treasures, secrets, and their own set of challenges. Mount Heinmach is the desolate snow-capped mountain which the forsaken Khazan was cast away. The Crevice is a realm between the netherworld and the mortal world, where dimensions bleed into one another, whilst Palemeon is the breathtaking fortress city which guards the gateway to the wider Pelos Empire. Ancient villages, abandoned subterranean kingdoms, hellscaped Gothic castles, and harsh forests round out the biomes shared thus far. Witness the cel-shaded graphics in real time. An anime Dark Souls, perhaps. One of the most striking elements of The Last Berserker Khazan is its 3D cel-shaded comic book style character design. It may be lacking in realism and be immersion breaking for some as a result, but it's inarguable this relatively unique blend of manga style graphics with realistic environments is appealing even if it's not to everyone's taste. Collect loot. The Last Berserker's world is stuffed with loot to collect, be it dropped by enemies and bosses or out there to discover in the wilds. There are healing, stat boosting, restoring, or combat enhancing consumables, notes and letters which will elaborate on the game's lore, and materials that are vital for crafting and unlocking more items. One great aspect regarding Khazan's loot system is that, like Nioh, the game doesn't flood players with hundreds of items which are only good for selling. Uncover secrets. There's a wealth of obscure and hidden elements scattered throughout the game's environments. With levels being inherently linear in design, the opportunity to uncover hidden paths, unlock secret areas, and generally use your intuition and observation to discover tucked away treasure will give these environments a broader feel. Adopt gestures. An interesting tool for creativity and self-expression, gestures in the first Berserker Khazan range from simple movements like bowing or waving to more unexpected interactions such as singing and sound generation, all deployed as a means to communicate with others. Spend currency with merchants. Lacrima is the game's in-world currency, and it's obtainable by defeating enemies encountered throughout this world. Spending Lacrima with merchants situated at Blade Nexus checkpoints upgrades Khazan's vitality, endurance, willpower, strength, and proficiency. Much like Bloodborne and Shovel Knight, worth noting is that drop Lacrima following death can be recovered by returning to that same location. A unique spin on this tried and tested mechanic though is the possibility of gaining bonus Lacrima by damaging a boss by a certain amount, with greater damage yielding more bonus. Taking on a frustratingly challenging boss can have its perks then, with the chance for bonus Lacrima and thus the chance to level up to a suitable strength before finally beating the boss, a welcome handicap to exploit for those who